gentlemen, we will begin our dedication ceremonies with the Star-Spangled Banner Fanfare performed by the UW-Manitowoc Lakeshore Wind Ensemble, conducted by Professor Michael Arendt. Know that I can see absolutely no one out in the audience. So I guess our new theater must be working right. We're very happy to welcome Congressman Petri, who's been able to join us. We were a little nervous for a few minutes, but we knew he would make it. Congressman Petri, Chancellor Messner, Senator Baumgart, Chairman Markwart, colleagues and friends, I welcome you to this very special occasion, this ceremony in which we dedicate our new facility, Lakeside Hall, as well as the renovated areas in Founders Hall and Hillside Hall. We celebrate today just one more important event and one more step in the life and the evolution of the UW-Manitowoc. Indeed, a step which will greatly benefit students for generations yet to come. Before I assert my right as campus dean to have the last and final word, I'd like you to hear from a few of the folks who are in one way or another involved in this project. We will hear from these people in the following order, if they can remember that. So this is a test. It's entirely fitting for a university that we have to start with a test. We'll hear first from Congressman Petri, then from our State Senator Jim Baumgart, County Board Chair Don Markwart, UW College's Chancellor Bill Messner, and my boss. I should have put him first, I'm sure. This will be reflected in my pay later on. The Facilities Committee Chair, Dr. Catherine Leone, our student representative, Kristen F. Ebert, and UWC Foundation Board Chair, Bill Maples. Please, gentlemen and ladies, in that order.
Facility like this that adds so much to the opportunities that the people of the community have to improve their University is important. Quality education nearby. A community commitment to its youth and those on their way toward a continuing education. This building is important in the future and for the future of its students, staff, businesses, and culture. Without a local university system providing its services, this legislator, a returning veteran of the 1960s, could never have gotten his education. 4.5 years later, working full-time, having a school nearby, I was able to get my 2 years of education and allowed me to go on to Stevens Point to graduate. So to all of those that played a role, the local, the individuals, the county, the state, and the national government, and those involved with it, thank you very much.
I guess it's my turn next, and I want to say also thank you for this beautiful program today, this fine facility. And I want to thank the county board members, which I can't see. You're kind of in the dark for me right now, but I know there's the current county board members here, some of the past supervisors, and you, the public, have all been supportive of what started off to be a 10-year plan. It shrunk to about a 5-year plan and possibly a 3-year plan. It was all stimulated in part due to a good economy, number one. Number two, thank you to the state government and the federal government for sharing in the cost, which is a big incentive factor for having this dream come true. And I want to say that I appreciate it from the standpoint of the county boardroom. We finally have a home for the future, here forever, I hope. It makes a beautiful mix. The UW system has always been very gracious, very gratified that we held our meetings here. We are part of local government, and we do belong here. And I just want to add a little flavor to the need for a center. I'm an alumni from way back from the old vocational school, so that dates me. But I found a center such as this, the university campus, is a stepping stone. I came from a farm background, a one-room schoolhouse, came to the big city of Manitowoc, to the big schools, then went on to 1 year at the vocational campus, which was called the center at that time, and then on to the University of Wisconsin-Madison. And I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for creating that stepping stone, process by process, so I could take the challenge of the big university and move forward and get my degree there. So I think this center is extremely valuable. I shouldn't call it center, it's UW-Manitowoc, but I still refer to it as a center. It's a center of our youth, our community. And I think it's a great enterprise to keep for education for youth. And I also just want to mention this Lakeshore Wind Ensemble. Many of you probably heard, like myself, last night at the Capital Civic Center. I want to give them credit, too, for helping the people of this community be supportive of this program. It will all cost you dollars, you taxpayers' dollars, to come forth for years to come. But the group that you will hear following our program is so well received in this community, and particularly from the middle-aged, elderly, the young, also interested in listening to this group, that I think the taxpayers of this community, with that group in mind also, gives us 100% support. So I just want to say thank you, everybody, for supporting this beautiful institution.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here today. It's a beautiful day in Manitowoc. I was struck by the fact, driving over from Madison a couple hours ago, sun in the sky, blue sky, just a beautiful, beautiful day. But it's always a beautiful day in Manitowoc, and it's always beautiful here at the UW-Manitowoc campus. This is one of our really special campuses in the UW system. They're all special, but this one especially is special. It's a fine facility in a very distinctive city. comprised of very distinctive individuals, very special faculty and staff. And I want to thank especially today the faculty and staff who were involved in this process. I know Catherine Leone and all the other individuals who took part in seeing to it that we're standing here today to dedicate this fine facility. I also want to single out this good-looking fellow in the front row here, Roland Baldwin, who's done such an extraordinary job of providing leadership for the campus. And quite frankly, if it wasn't Roland's very expert leadership, I doubt that this project would be at this stage, at this completion stage today. Several years ago, when we first started talking about this project, I think Roland was talking about, well, maybe 2003 or 2004 or 2005, and instead here we are today, 2001, in this just magnificent facility. Also want to say thank you to Don and all the members of the County Board of Supervisors for making the commitment, a $4 million commitment to this facility. That's not small change. And these aren't the best of times, and so we're very appreciative of the commitment that the county has made to excellence in education here at UW-Manitowoc. Similarly to the state, who is putting over $1 million into this facility. The seats that you're sitting in are in fact the state's investment as they've equipped this facility. Again, difficult decisions having to be made in Madison. This is one of the positive decisions that they made, and we're most appreciative, Jim, for your support. Finally, I think it's very appropriate that the Lakeshore Wind Ensemble is taking part in this celebration today, because the Wind Ensemble is a very special group. It's students and community members joining together to provide performances to bring culture to the city of Manitowoc. And it's that unique combination of campus and community that makes the UW colleges, UW-Manitowoc, so special. So I'm delighted to be here today. It's a beautiful day in Manitowoc. Thank you very much.
Seems like I always follow the small guy. bit grumpy that our maintenance department offered all kinds of practical advice to those of us who, we know our way around books, but we don't know our way around boiler rooms. So his help is inestimable. And there's students, that's why we're here. This list really would not be complete without mentioning the members of student government. Every one of the years, 5 years, this meeting has gone on. There have been 2 former students sitting attendance between their classes so that they could give us some help on what they might need or want in the facility. So, here we have this committee full of all different kinds of people who know all kinds of things. The committee had numerous objectives. We wanted to expand our instructional capabilities, both through the addition of new space and the reutilization of old space. We wanted to upgrade and improve our equipment and technology. Now, you've seen some examples of these. I hope you've had a chance to wander through and look at everything. In Lakeside Hall, we have a new lecture hall, which is terrific. I can see over that podium, too. That's great. In Founders Hall, you've seen a whole suite of classrooms full of computers and technology that allow us to teach with computers here on campus, to send and receive distance education programs. Everybody says stuff is state of the art, and I think it is. It's great. Now, another one of our objectives was to upgrade the level and quality of the facilities that would enhance life for students here on our campus. Spaces for students to gather, to study, to relax, to debate matters of campus governance, to debate global politics. These are absolutely critical to the role of an institution of higher education. And I think we've succeeded there too. We have beautiful student commons, a kitchen, all kinds of wonderful facilities there, a new lounge. We have a new area that's devoted to a math lab and writing lab, so that students can get all kinds of additional help if they should need it, or just companionship in studying if they want it. Great stuff. Now, finally, our committee recognized the importance of the relationship between the UW-Manitowoc and the people of the county. And we worked to ensure that many facilities, such as this theater where we sit right now, and the county board room, which Don mentioned, that these rooms would be designed to provide a maximum benefit, both to the campus and to the community. Why? Well, I guess the real reason why is that it's very important to us as a community, I think, to cement And the plan is that they'll need a place to put all the new keys. Because there are a lot of new doors in this facility. So they got keys. So, just hang here for a minute, and then we'll move on. The last thing I want to say, if I can find my last page, I'm so excited, is that chairing this committee has really been very fulfilling for me. It's been wonderful. I've had a chance to work with a superb group of colleagues. It really has been a terrific experience. I've had a chance to see firsthand how our campus community works together. I've really seen practical democracy flourish at every single level, at every stage throughout this process. The experience has been an honor and a pleasure.
Good afternoon. Throughout all of the speakers we've heard this afternoon, there has been one phrase that has been said repeatedly, and that has been thank you. But I feel, in representing the students here at UW-Manitowoc, that we hold the basic rights to that phrase. So I want to begin by saying thank you. Thank you to Dean Baldwin and to Chairman Marquardt and the County Board Supervisors, to Senator Baumgart and to Chancellor Messner. And a big thank you to the faculty and staff here at UW-Manitowoc. My name is Kristen Ebert. I am a graduate of Lincoln High School and currently a sophomore here at the university. I have an older brother who attended his first 2 years of college here and is now a senior at UWGB, and a younger brother who just started his freshman year here. So I am in a very unique position this afternoon because I am speaking for students of the past, present, and future on this campus. All of us truly recognize the advantages these new additions bring to our campus. They will make us able to compete on the same level as other campuses and bring us into the 21st century. We all let out a real sigh of relief last year when we saw our old acoustic-like lecture hall being turned into some valuable technological classroom space. We gladly autographed the walls and watched it being filled in because we knew this was a great advantage for our present and future students to have the use of these new state-of-the-art technologies, such as this new theater, which offers our students cultural exposure, the newly renovated lecture hall, and our computerized classrooms that not only teach online courses, but also have student tutoring labs available for our use. These new additions put our students who attend this school at no disadvantage to deciding to start their futures here. We now have a facility that matches the quality of the dedicated professionals we have working here. It gives the excellent staff the ability to make their educational magic happen. Once again, I want everyone to know that the students thank you for this dollars and cents investment, not only in bricks, mortar, and equipment, but also in our one true investment, our nation's future leaders. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I can't see anyone out there, but I know Terry Trask is there somewhere. And I want to thank whoever it is who put the program together and kept Kerry off the program. And I'll tell you why. Because whenever he's on the program, and I think he's sitting over here somewhere, I can't see him. Whenever he's on, he usually makes a joke about lawyers, and I usually feel like a target. So thanks whoever put that together. In reading over the program, I didn't realize that I'm speaking this afternoon wearing two hats. I thought I was just speaking on behalf of the University of Wisconsin Manitowoc Foundation. In fact, I'm listed as alumnus as well. So I'll start with a little spiel about what it means to be an alumnus. In August of 1984, I rambled into the parking lot here in a 1972 Buick Skylark with no muffler. And I spent the first 2 years of my university education here, and I'm very grateful to the staff and the faculty for making that possible. About 5 years after I left here, I finally graduated from law school and I've been practicing law ever since. Suffice it to say, say when I made it in the parking lot this afternoon, my car has a muffler on it. And I think I have the staff and faculty here to thank for that. So for all the staff and faculty, I want a round of applause for them. And now, as a member of the University of Wisconsin-Manitowoc Foundation, I'm going to do what Dr. Leone did and ask that you turn up the lights for a minute. Can you do that? You did it for her. The reason I wanted you to do that is because I want to be able to recognize the members of our foundation board of trustees who joined us here this afternoon, and all of whom are very dedicated to what we do in supporting this great institution. First of all, John Danforth. John, are you here? There he is. The always wry, sometimes sly, and sometimes dry wit of Alan Engelbert. Alan, are you here? One of our newest members, Gail Fox. Gail? One of Manitowoc's most ardent supporters of, actually two of Manitowoc's most ardent supporters of education, Armin Keeter and Howard Wilsman. I know you're both here. And Bill Thompson, are you here? Is she here this afternoon? There she is. And I would be quite remiss if I didn't mention Dean Roland Baldwin, who serves ex officio and has been a wonderful promoter of the foundation. Dean Baldwin. On behalf of the foundation, let me also say a great big thank you to Don Marquardt and the rest of the Manitowoc County Board of Supervisors for their support of this project. We all followed it in the press. We know that the county board had a lot of issues to deal with at the time that they were dealing with putting the money together to do this project, and we really owe them a debt of gratitude for their work in making this happen. I thank them. The University of Wisconsin-Manitowoc Foundation is a nonprofit organization. We're not funded with university dollars. We're funded with dollars that we raise from individuals like you, from your businesses, from the community, and from other foundations. We really have, as I see it, two missions. The first mission is to promote the image of the campus and the university within the community. To that end, one of the things that we did as part of this, through the generous donations that the foundation has received over the years, is we were able to sponsor the 3 flagpoles that you saw outside today, each of which support the county flag, the state flag, and the American flag. And I'm very pleased that we could do that and add a small token to this wonderful facility. Our second, and in my view, our most important function, is to raise money to support student scholarships. And I know that most of you think of us as fundraisers. We are fundraisers, and I'd be remiss if I didn't come up here and make a pitch. So I'm here to do that, and through the assistance of some of our other foundation members, we've put together a program, and you all saw these brochures on your armrest this afternoon. We put together a program whereby you can sponsor the chairs that you're sitting in today, and you can name them in honor of someone in your family, somebody close to you, a favorite professor. Elvis, I think, is suggested in here, among others. And Alan Engelbert, who always offers as I said, a somewhat sly witticism, suggested that we call one of them the county seat. I thought that was kind of a nice idea. So I'll ask you to think about that a little bit today as I'm speaking. But in any event, the funds that we raise in sponsoring the seats and in that program will be used to help us complete our Endowments for Scholarships campaign. That campaign was started a couple of years ago to raise $200,000. The purpose of that campaign was to build the foundation's funds such that we could offer a scholarship to a worthy student each year from each of the 8 feeder high schools within Manitowoc from which we draw the majority of our students. As of today, we're at $185,000. We're just about there. And if we sell 150 seats today, which isn't out of the realm of comprehension, we could make our goal. So I'm encouraging each of you to think about sponsoring a seat. In closing, let me just say, if there's a common bond that cements our foundation board of trustees together, it is, I think, our belief that education and the support of education are statements of faith and hope in the generations that will lead our country in the future. We, the foundation, I think, will continue to invest our time, our energy, and our resources in these future generations. And in thinking about the foundation, I hope you'll consider doing the same. Last, I think this is a good day, and I'm very pleased to be a part of it. Thank you.
I want you all to know publicly that I will purchase the first sponsorship, Bill, so we're ready to go. My thanks to all of those who have spoken today. We have a rather illustrious group gathered up here, and this is really a love-in because we're all pleased with what has been accomplished here today, and I think justifiably so. So thank you all for your kind words, and thank you, Congressman Petri, for the flag. As soon as this one wears out, that one goes up. and I do want to make a special thanks to the foundation for the flagpoles that they dedicated. We've been talking for months about what they could contribute, and that's the beginning of it. And so with your help and with the contributions of others, we're going to realize many, many more things. And I think the key to all of this is the partnership. That word keeps coming up. That's what this is all about. This is a partnership. We promise to do something, but we require everybody's help to do it, and I think it's working extremely well. I want to thank all those people who worked so hard to make today's activities possible. You've heard them named, and this includes, among those who have not been named yet, Jane Pfeffer and her group for the Dedication Committee, who really put all of this last-minute stuff together to make sure that the day didn't fall flat on its face because I forgot to plan it. So thank you, Jane, and others for doing this. And for Carrie Trask, Professor Trask has headed up a committee to decide what we're going to put into the time capsule that will be eventually housed out in the front of the building, and he's worked together with a group of students to put together some things, and we'll talk about that more in a minute or so. But thank you for you and your committee for that work as well. I could go on and name numerous others, but I know the Packer game starts before long, and we do have a concert here yet, so I'll move on. On this occasion, I'm really reminded of the words of then County Board Chair Don Vogt at the groundbreaking ceremony in 1986 for what we now refer to as Lakeside Hall, and Don is here today to be haunted by his words. Noting that the project, which was then entering the construction phase, had occasionally been referred to as the Campus Completion Project, he observed the following, quote, "I have never liked the term Campus Completion Project, which was given the plan in its early stages. I think when we speak of things such as completion projects, it seems to have a final ring to it, as if we've made it, and we never have to look at it again. I don't believe that." He concluded his remarks by saying that it is my sincere desire that we not view this project as the completion of the campus, but rather as another stage in meeting the educational needs of our public. How true and how prophetic those words were. Here we are 15 years later, dedicating another beautiful addition and a significant amount of renovation of that campus. But I have to hasten to add, as well as Don did, this also does not represent a campus completion. Due to the fiscal constraints which we all acknowledge and understand, portions of this project even were eliminated or reduced. Plans to renovate and expand the library and the art studio had to be dropped. Additional renovation of the ceilings and lighting systems and the HVAC system were eliminated from the project. In the meantime, classrooms and laboratories are aging, and at some point we'll have to pay attention to them as well. At the same time, campus enrollments have for the second year in a row reached an all-time high with nearly 650 students. The previous fall was our highest enrollment, followed by a spring enrollment, which was our second highest enrollment. Now we have again exceeded the record with nearly 650 headcount students and a record 490.8 full-time equivalent students. I believe personally that the enrollments reflect the success that we enjoy as an effective and quality institution. We have a highly qualified and dedicated faculty and staff, individuals of whom I am deeply proud. They help make this the quality institution that it is. In the supportive atmosphere of a small, personalized campus, they provide an unusual level of excellence. And within these wonderful facilities provided by the county and equipped by the state, students receive the best education we can provide. This is what we stand for, and this is what we deliver. The nature of the educational process continues to change. Technology adds new dimensions to what we do and how we do it. This affects not only what happens in the classroom, but indeed how the classroom itself is defined. Some students now are part of a television classroom and may be taught from a remote site. In the case of organic chemistry, for example, Professor Bickler teaches her students here, along with students at 4 additional sites, all at the same time. Other students are part of the so-called virtual classroom and take courses via their computers whenever and wherever they can log on. Their conversations with teachers and with students and with their fellow students are conducted via email from the comfort of their homes or workplaces. Even traditional classrooms have been converted to so-called smart classrooms, classrooms which use a wide range of technology. We are in the middle of a rapid change, and we can only imagine where we might be in the future. One need only look at some of our remodeled classroom spaces to see how our instructional needs have changed and how these changes affect the facilities that we need. All of this suggests that this is indeed not a campus completion project. It is a wonderful new step in our history, one for which we should all be very grateful. It demonstrates again the importance of partnership between county and state. Manitowoc County provided $4.07 million, but who's counting, right, Don? For this current project. This makes possible the proverbial bricks and mortar portion of the completed project. We thank County Board Chairman Don Marquardt, the board itself, and all the county staff who have worked with us so hard to make this project a reality. We must also thank Bray and Associates for their design and supervision work, and Myron Construction for working their magic in producing this completed project. And we have representatives from both of those distinguished firms here on our campus. Mr. Ray Hain, he's the only one with an umlaut in his name, so I can say it any way I want, right, Ray? And Dennis Newman, who, what can I say about Dennis? Dennis from Myron Construction. And of course, there are the many subcontractors, suppliers, and individuals who also had important roles in this project. This includes, of course, those who have been named already. Our business manager, Bruce Peters, Dr. Catherine Leone, Dr. Suzanne Scooble, maintenance supervisor Dave Grumpy, and other members of the Campus Facilities Committee who have been involved in this project from very early on. If I were to try adding more names, we would certainly miss the Packer game, and we would be here much longer than any of you want to be here. But thank you. I can only say that over and over again, thank you to all of you for your tireless work in behalf of this campus. I must also express thanks to the state of Wisconsin for providing $1.65 million for furnishing and otherwise equipping these new and remodeled facilities. With this money, we have sought to make the buildings more beautiful and educationally sound. Together, we have achieved something, in my opinion, that's very special. I would like to add a special thanks to our maintenance staff for their patience during this disruptive period of construction. If you had all been here over Christmas, you would have thought a bomb had gone off here. These people have worked hard to keep our facilities so that we could continue to operate. They have coordinated various aspects of the project very effectively with an together, they have made life more bearable for all of us, especially for me. The maintenance people have worked long hours to see this project through, and they have worked especially hard to make the facility shine for today's open house and this dedication ceremony. My personal thanks to all of you. Now, for what I was really going to say when I got up here. Buildings and various other structures have long been recognized as symbols of importance. One need think only of the great pyramids of Egypt, the Taj Mahal, the Eiffel Tower, our nation's capital, and so many others. Many structures are significant in their own right, others for their function. Some ancient buildings and old buildings continue to serve the purposes for which they were intended. We think here of the beautiful cathedrals of Europe. Others have become beautiful museums and tourist attractions, while others have become noteworthy ruins. Think of the many castles and palaces of Europe where aristocracy no longer exists, and other relics of ancient civilizations such as those in Greece and Rome. Nevertheless, there is inherent significance in all of these structures. But allow me to reflect for a moment on structures nearer to home and contemporary. The towers of the New York World Trade Center were architectural and engineering marvels reaching to unbelievable heights, to many the symbols of the United States itself, perhaps. These two towers made up the distinctive skyline of Manhattan and seem to have acquired a sense of permanence. On September 11th, these two landmarks and others were destroyed, along with thousands of lives. To whatever end and for whatever sinister purpose, terrorists attacked them with almost unbelievable cunning and precision. The destruction is massive and perhaps beyond even the attackers' wildest dreams. Yet even in their absence, the towers remain, at least in spirit, as reminders of both sadness and treachery, as well as of greatness. Remarkably, they have become a source for unifying even world resolve to combat international terrorism. I refer to all of this not as a political commentary, but as a reminder of the importance of what we build as human beings. I suspect that what we have constructed here will never occupy the place in history occupied by the pyramids, the Eiffel Tower, or the World Trade Center. However, these structures will be significant for many lives. Lives will be forever changed within these walls as the miracle of higher education occurs. As we reminisce about the accomplishments of former students, some of whom are here today and some of whom we have heard from today, we have cause to be proud. We are doing what we have promised to do. How many have told me over the years that I've been here that the course of their lives was dramatically changed by their choice to begin their higher education here. You've heard testimony to that fact today. Somewhere I just lost my speech. I don't even want to guess who that is, but I think I should have can. Fortunately for all of you, I found it. In addition, the contributions of faculty and staff to their disciplines and to the general concerted effort of pushing back the frontiers of knowledge must also be recognized. They also reach out into our communities, and I believe their presence here makes this area a quality place to live. I look forward to using our new facilities. Our new theater will be a venue for the performing arts from the campus as well as from the community. Our new music wing will be a home for our own Lakeshore Wind Ensemble, our community organization, which demonstrates the partnership of campus and community in a particularly beautiful way. The new county boardroom, which we all recognize as being the nicest spot on campus. I wonder why. This will provide a home for the county board whose continued partnership makes all of this possible. The new commons and food service area will make life a little more comfortable for students, faculty, and staff. And the newly remodeled office and instructional areas will enable us to deliver our services more effectively and with higher quality. Indeed, we have reason to celebrate the fruits of our collective labor here today. In conclusion, I am moved to relate to you once more the words of Ruskin, first quoted in our behalf by our good friend Jack Nash, in connection with the very first campus building project here in 1962. Ruskin wrote, quote, "Let us think as we lay stone on stone that men shall say, see, this our fathers did for us." We have not built this campus for ourselves, but for those who come after us. We are but a link in a much longer chain of events. May we be humbled by our small roles. And yet, may we also share some pride in knowing that this too is an important structure. May it stand to the ideals and ends to which we dedicated long after we are no longer here. Thank you for coming and sharing this day with us. We will now do something that I haven't any idea how we're going to bring this off, but I'm going to ask Chancellor Messner, Ray Hane, Ray, I'm never going to get your name right, it's the old one, of Ray Associates, and Dennis Newman of Myron Construction, and Kristen Ebert, the student, to join me. We're going to have a ceremony of passing of the key, whatever that means.
Thank you, Dean. On behalf of Ray Associates Architects and Myron Construction Company, we would like to present you with this plaque and ultimately the keys to the building. The plaque simply states, University of Wisconsin-Manitowoc, in appreciation to the citizens of Manitowoc County for their dedication to educational facilities excellence. Ray Associates and Myron Construction Company are proud to be a part of the university and county's commitment to quality higher education.
Before I go rolling the key, I just want to say a couple of things. I want to thank all the people in Manitowoc and the UW system for allowing us to be part of this wonderful project. The second portion is, at our first meeting here, Roland told us we're educators, you are builders. So I have to explain to Roland, this is a commemorative key. This will not open any door in the building. With that, Roland, take us back to your office.
This gives you a sense of the kinds of meetings we've been having for months, in which Dennis advised us that with these meetings will start on time. Anybody who comes late brings cookies to the next meeting. I did it once. Actually, Dennis did it once or twice. So we're very appreciative, and I will make the right use of that key, Dennis. Thank you for the reminder. We now have to do another thing, which I haven't done for a long time. I'm going to ask Kristen to come back forward and Don to come and join me for this. We're going to cut the ribbon, and I have some help I know that's going to appear from somewhere. I'm going to give you a set of, and don't use them until I tell you to do it. Kristen, when I say cut, we're going to cut this ribbon. If anybody gets ahead of the game, we're in big trouble. 1, 2, 3, cut. Stand very shortly, and we will be honored to listen to our own Lakeshore Wind Ensemble. It's going to take them about, well, I've heard some scurrying behind the curtain. They may be ready to go. So as soon as I dismiss the group from here and we turn the lights up, we're going to turn the rest of the program over to Maestro Arendt and the Lakeshore Wind Ensemble, and thank you again for coming today.
concert from Lakeside Hall. The UW-Manitowoc Lakeshore Wind Ensemble, conducted by Professor Michael Arendt, celebrates the completion of this facility as the beginning of a new era for the University of Wisconsin-Manitowoc, with the fanfare from Also Sprach Zarathustra, the theme from 2001, A Space Odyssey. fanfare, the Lakeshore Wind Ensemble performed Alfred Reed's El Camino Real, a musical fantasy based on two Spanish dances, the Jota and the Fandango. And the UW-Manitowoc Chorus, conducted by Susie Miller, will now perform two selections for you. Come Ye Sons of Art by Henry Purcell will feature flute soloists Kathy Burbach and Carolyn Hassimer, and vocal soloists Coral Kirkheat and Brenda Otto. Accompanying the chorus will be Mary Ann Mitchell. The chorus will then sing Wade in the Water, a spiritual by Mark Hayes. My new home is in this beautiful new building. Lakeside Hall is also home to the Lakeshore Wind Ensemble, the Lakeshore Big Band, and the UW-Manitowoc Chorus. Two members of the chorus will now be featured soloists with the Lakeshore Wind Ensemble. Both are sophomore music majors here at UW-Manitowoc. Ben Bakey will perform a great old standard for you from the movie Casablanca, As Time Goes By. And Christopher Heimerman will sing the popular I Feel a Song Coming On.
Okay. troubles are gone. Let those heavenly drums go on drumming, 'cause I feel a song coming on. You'll hear a tuneful story ringing through ya, love and glory, hallelujah. And now that my troubles are gone, let those heavenly drums go on drumming, 'cause I feel a song coming on.
The Lakeshore Wind Ensemble began this afternoon's concert with Alfred Reed's El Camino Real. It will conclude with another Reed composition, a work considered to be his first masterwork, Armenian Dances. The piece was premiered in 1973 and is a symphonic rhapsody based on Armenian folk melodies. After the conclusion of the concert, please join us for a reception in the new Commons area of Lakeside Hall, which is just to your left as you leave the theater. We'd like to thank you for joining us this afternoon as we celebrate the dedication of our new Lakeside Hall.
just like to say a couple of words myself. How grateful I am for this facility. A little out there. It really has been a joy to watch this develop. There are so many people to thank: the county board, faculty here at the university, the dean, the Lakeshore Wind Ensemble for being up here today, and the choir. There's so many people that were involved in this project, and we're very, very grateful. But we are celebrating the construction of a new facility, of which we're very proud, but at the same time, we also mourn because of the destruction which has occurred within the last few months. So we have a little something to bring into perspective all of the things in life that we have to cope with.